just about the end of the war, when things were winding down, my wife and I discussed about living where we were. But the decision came down to the fact that although we did like Idaho, all our relatives were back in Wisconsin, so we came back to Wisconsin, and I guess that probably was the best decision. I built a house, and the house I'm living in now, and lived there for 73 years, and after 70 years of marriage, I'm living alone, but we're back in Wisconsin, but that's the way it was, and I guess that's the way it will be. K8IBXG, this is K8IWAR. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, all. And for the state, I don't know. Pennsylvania, western part of Pennsylvania, Ohio, I guess even some parts in West Virginia. I've traveled a little bit in those areas, not a lot. And it's a little bit south of us, so it's a little bit warmer, a little bit longer. And western part of Pennsylvania, you don't get the major storms and hurricanes and everything else. That's stuff I want to stay away from. Hurricanes and tornadoes and such. So Kansas and Iowa, Nebraska, they're so known for tornadoes. I see the destruction that happens out there, so don't like sticking to that. Watching some documentaries on the Notre Dame, quite interesting, the rebuild. Wow, they have a lot of people working on it, and it's a big job. Looks like it's progressing pretty good, though. So, back out to the wood pile today. Cut some more, or split some more. I'm running out of totes. I only got one left. So, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. But, for piling, we have to make a roll. I don't like doing that too much. But, oh well. See what happens. Takes 3 times as much anyway. So, I'll send it over to Bruce. Got it right today. K9DXC. Interesting doubling. The only one I heard was Brad, UPE, and then you come up with 2 other stations, I think, maybe 3, but I did not hear that at all, but I'm going to send it over there too. W9LON. Good morning, W9QUB.
that's where I'd probably stay. I'm used to the cold weather. I like the warm sunshine we get April, September, November. And then, just the, let's say the price of housing and things that are around to buy are fairly decent here. So hearing about other things going on, I'll just pass. And of course, the price of housing now, don't know if I can even afford this house if I tried to buy it again. So that being said, I will turn it over to AG9P. Good morning to all. Thanks for running the net there.
learned, don't walk to the inside of the spiral staircase. Walk to the outside because the steps get pretty small when you get to the inside of the spiral staircase. And man, I missed one, and my heel slid off, and that was the first thing that hit the marble floor. And man, was my heel sore for quite a while. And of course, we were touring at that time, so here I am walking all over the place. But could have been much worse. I fell right forward on my face, so everybody came running, and it was okay, and I didn't even feel my heel be damaged at that time. Anyway, it all worked out. I think I'd have to choose Northern California if I could afford it, and I could get out to a rural area somewhere. I went to John Deere State Park one time, and that was so gorgeous. So beautiful. Let me talk. Okay, so I guess, but I'm in no real, 30 years ago I would have stayed in Florida, or 30 years ago. We lived there for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed it, but it was just the opposite for my wife too. So we moved back. I luckily rented my house out when I was living down there, not knowing the future, and so I did have my home to come back to, but at that time, boy, I really looked for lots of things. And then I thought, boy, when I retire, that's the first thing I'm going to do, but not anymore. Not anymore. So too much down there. But pretty well set on where I am right now. Somebody came up with a pile of money. I suppose I might be able to Hawaii. See how that works out. Okay, yard work today along with my brother Brad. I guess he's going to do the same thing, but I'm going to wait until the afternoon. I can't work all day out there anyway, so I'm going to wait until this afternoon. It'll probably warm up a little bit. Not a yard person at all. Club officers, we're looking for some people to step up for a maybe 3, maybe 2 positions. We accepted the president's job, and we're doing that, but we still need some people to help out and volunteer. I know POS, Philip, still expressed an interest in it, but now, the last I heard, he was having medical issues, so John is going to contact him, but I will try to get a hold of going to that. But I want to make a decision by Friday, so I'm going to start getting on the phone. I guess I don't have much of an alternative, but we don't have a large pool to pull from. We do have enough club members, but yeah, that's how that works. I've had it long enough. So we're going to move over now and go back to Echolink, where we only have 2 stations left. We have P182 Allen and then KA9. So let's go over to Al, over in England, and then we're going to go to Jack. So pick it up, Al. P182.
Very much. So good evening, everybody on the net. I'm not sure who is there. I've only been here for about 5 minutes. I have been busy since, well, Sunday I didn't come on, but that was our armistice day. And they will remember the fallen people who fell in the wars. And yesterday, my son, I had to go to the hospital to give up with this, had my toenails shot, and then I didn't get the money, and I went to see a friend of mine who owns a garage, who I have bought lots of cars from. So I went up to see him. He is the same age as I am. And I said to him, you are one of the two people I know that is still alive. Anyway, when the net started, my son came over, and my that DIPOLE has come down here a couple of days ago. So he helped me put it up, so that's why I say it doesn't come on yesterday. So, today, I have been for my COVID jab. I wasn't due to go to see a son, but we went early, and there was hardly anybody in the place. So, I've been in, that, and come home. Because that, I think a lot of people aren't bothering them with it, because I had to go 10 miles away across the bay to a COVID center for the town. Anyway, good morning everybody, and I pass it on to Dolly. K9TIP K1AU.
K9TQC returning. Thank you, Alan. Good afternoon to you. And, Bruce, well, I'm glad that you're on the mend. I know a smaller fall than that. I think I cracked some bones in my back a few years ago, and I might report you spending the month of January on the floor because I could barely move, but luckily it recovered. And one of the interesting things when I got my cable modem going again last night down here is I was checking the solar array. It turns out half of the microinverters weren't reporting. So after some sleuthing, I found a breaker outside that had tripped, so I got that going again, so that's good. And not much else. So back to you, sir, and good luck finding some other people willing to take on officer role. It's really not as bad as it was fine. Actually, you'll do, and congratulations, I think you'll do a great job. W9OBB, K9TQC.
I know we spent a long time up in the upper Michigan, and we haven't lived too long in Green Bay, although it's been several years now, I think. And so I'm going to pass it over to him and repeat the question of the day, and that is, if you couldn't live in the state that you're currently living in, what other state would you live in? So that's the question of the day. And KG0P, this is W9OPP. Over to you, Paul.
KV0P mobile here. The repeater was really noisy, so I had to log into All-Star. And I was down by County Road GV in Green Bay, and it's just really noisy there. So I'm now headed to Appleton. I just left a new facility in Green Bay that's being built up, and we're installing new X-ray machines and CT machines and MRI machines. And now I'm headed to Appleton to go to FedEx to get some parts. So, I would, if I couldn't live in Wisconsin, I would live back in the UP again. I'm from the UP, so I moved down here. It's been 5 years now. It'll be 5 years next month. So it's going quick. And enjoy it down here. We moved south for warmer weather. Actually, the weather temperature is the same. We moved south for less snow. That's really what happened. So I don't have to deal with 300 inches of snow a year anymore. So let's see, what else can I add this morning? One thing I wanted to mention was, and maybe I already mentioned it, I don't think I checked in since last night, but I don't think I checked in over the weekend. But I was doing some RFI hunting in my house this past weekend, which might be beneficial for some people. And I had S9 to 10 over noise on HF on 80 meters and 40 especially. And I never had anything weaker than that, so I couldn't hear the really weak stations, and it just frustrated me. And I never lived in a city before, so I just assumed that's city living. Got to deal with it. Well, I found out, let me recycle here. This might benefit somebody, but let me on key. Yeah, I remember I gotta wait for the courtesy tone to beep from the repeater before I can key up. I found 4 sources of noise in my house, and they were all S9 plus 10 over on 80 meters. So if I didn't individually resolve each one at a time, I would have never found them, because, you know, one, you think you found it, but then you still have an S9 noise because there's 3 other sources producing the same level of noise. And I found 2 wall warts that were bad, one on my cordless phone base station, one on an outdoor camera system, and I found out that my garage door opener was creating noise. And finally, my low voltage outdoor light, when the light would turn on at night, you know, after the timer, when it would get dark outside, it would produce a lot of SM9 on 10 over noise at night. So those are the 4 sources. So if anybody has any questions after that, they can either hold me or email me if they're having the same issues. And I resolved each one. All right, back over to next control. This is Give It Your Open. That is great. RFI, CMI, and it can be a board. Very often, and like on a morning, it's involved 50 over, having 50 over at a time. So I don't have any problems there. And all you do is your reception around 170 that's totally understandable, because our antenna radio station power filters right along side, and more north is direct, so further south you get to the partner. W9OBB audio check. Sound Have a good day. Your audio sounds way better now. Yeah, you were follow. Okay, I heard somebody else in there, but I think I doubled the TV through. My noise that I had in my house was wiping out my HF, and I didn't notice it so much on 2 meters. But part of it too is the footprint of the antenna on the Door County repeater, and then I think mentioned something about the antennas on, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know. But I noticed the repeater's kind of weak in Green Bay, and stronger, I guess maybe stronger towards when I went up north, so maybe the signal's favoring the north, I'm quite sure. So that might just be the natural way things are, and that's why you're having a hard time, because you might need a bigger antenna or something, or a directional antenna, for you to signal up your location. So that's the natural way of things. The repeater's not super extremely strong. I noticed it's not super extremely strong in my house either. But on the base station it is a little bit better. But so that might just be normal because of the distance between you and your repeater. But the noise I was having was wiping out my HF, and it was a really wide noise that was just covering the entire HF band, wiping out complete band. And there's different ways of resolving that noise. You have to identify what kind of noise it is, first of all, but there's a couple things I did, and I was able to take care of it. I had to wait for the ID to finish up there. Let me unkey here a minute. In my sweet old time, going 54 miles an hour down to 41 right now to Appleton because I'm following a wide load. And I don't mind. I'll just fucking behind the mirror and just relax. I think my shipment is late anyway. So what I had to do, because I did this before, and I still haven't found it, is I had to shut off every breaker in my house, including my HF breaker, or my ham shack. So I got a separate circuit on my ham shack, separate breaker, separate circuit, completely isolated. And in the past, I would turn off everything except that because I needed to install my radios. Well, it turns out one of the sources of the noise was in my ham shack. So there you go. You think you're trying to find this noise, you can't find it. So what I ended up doing, and I've been meaning to do this for a long time, but I just never got around to it. I finally had a couple days off of work, so I thought I'm going to do this today. Which, funny story, in the process of doing that, and sitting there and recording everything and writing down things in notes and at the breaker box, I heard scratching underneath the crawl space. And I thought, oh great, there's mice in there. And then I went off on another tangent, tried to take my deck apart, trying to find out where they were getting into the crawl space. The crawl space is isolated from my house, so it's not like they're going to get in the house. And so I ended up doing that instead, and then eventually I came back to finding the noise. So it's kind of funny how things went when you look at it. But anyway, I had to shut off every breaker from my HF rig on a battery. And then when I did that, my noise level went from S9 to 10 over down to S2. Shut off every individual breaker. And then I started turning one on at a time. Oh, that one's not causing noise. Turn on the next one. That one's not causing noise. And then finally I found one that was causing noise. I put a piece of red tape on that breaker so I wouldn't lose track of it. And then shut that one off and kept doing it until I identified every breaker that was causing noise. And I had 3 or 4 separate circuits that were causing noise. So once you identify that, then you start hunting down what's on those circuits. You know, if you stuck your, well, you can't because you got a SDL type receiver, so it'd be kind of hard to put that on a battery, but if you could isolate the power source, put that on a battery, maybe the computer's causing it too, but I don't know, my computer wasn't causing any problems at all. So what I did is I built some, and I bought some commercial EMI filters, which goes on the AC side of these devices. And I came to the conclusion that none of the noise is being radiated down the AC circuit. Because by filtering the AC, well, I shouldn't say that. There was one device that was radiating noise down the AC circuit. The rest were not. The remaining 3 were not. And there's 2 different types of, there's common mode noise, and then there's differential noise. There's different ways of resolving both of those. But I found that 3 of my sources, or 2 of my sources, I was able to eliminate the noise, or 3 of them, I was able to eliminate the noise by putting a choke on the DC side, or the output side of the device, toroid. just wrapped the power wire around toroid, ferrite toroid, and that resolved it. My garage door opener, however, was generating noise down the AC line, and so I put a ferrite bead on the AC side, on the AC cord, and that resolved that. Still in there, KB0P Mobile Appleton. Did you get that, Craig? Wanted to specify, I said ferrite bead, and no, it wasn't a ferrite bead. There wasn't enough inductance there. I have ferrite toroids, donuts for winding balance, type 43 material, 2.5 inches in diameter. I'm going to get some smaller ones though, because that's a waste of those things, because I bought them for building balance. And I had to do 10 plus turns, and that got rid of the noise. And then on the garage door opener, I had to add some capacitors to ground too. So that one was a little bit more involved. Okay, Craig, I'm back. I had a service call. I got to go to Wapaka now. After I'm done here. nest. And I don't know where we left off or if you're even still there, but is your RV plugged into the house? Because the noise could be coming from the house too. Okay, yeah, I never break off the pin. Don't do that. I just use those adapters, and that's a totally separate issue. That's grounding, prevent ground loops, so you don't have differential voltages when lightning hits. It goes through your rig and uses your rig as a fuse. That's a totally different subject than the noise. So if there's noise sources in your house, like I had at my house, because it's all on the same mains, that noise could be getting into your rig also, because first of all, you're close to the house, and anything radiated in the house could be being picked up. So, and there might be noise radiated by my neighbors, by bad wall work in their house, but it didn't seem to be a big problem, because they weren't close enough to me. So I went down to about an S2 and 375 meters. And I was happy with that. So, if I wanted to be a purist, I could start knocking on doors. But I'm not going to do that, because you need a good relationship with your neighbors before you start doing that. And I was happy with the results. So I was very fortunate when I shut my breaker off, this noise went away, because my fear was I'd shut my breaker off and the noise would stay there. Then I would know instantly that it wasn't my problem, and I would just have to live with it. So I was very, very happy that was the result. Maybe breaks down, it's really simple. Oh, looks like I need gas. My empty gas light just came on. Good thing I noticed that before I left for Wapaka. Anyway, yeah, thanks for the comment. And what was I going to say? I was going to say something about what Craig just said too. And I'm going to be at FedEx here in a second. So, yeah, oh, Craig. So what I would do if you could put your HF receiver somehow, I don't know, again, I think you have an SDR, so this might be difficult. So put your HF receiver on battery and then shut off all your breakers in your house or just shut your main off. And see if your noise goes completely away, then you know that you're your own problem. And also that battery charger in the RV could be noisy too. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. But the grounding issue, that's a separate topic. That's a